actually have had changing weather conditions here in Florida. So I am relaxing today. I'm staying home. So I thought I'd do a little quick video and talk about your physical, mental, and financial well being. So, where are you from a 1 to a 10? If you think about your physical health at a 10, your mental health at a 10, and your financial well being at a 10, what would you give yourself a score in this moment? And my invitation for anybody out there whose physical, mental, and financial well being is not close to their 10, first of all, you want to measure it. So step into it. What's your 10 look like? For your physical health, you're at your goal weight, you fit into all your clothes, you feel so good. What does that feel like in your body? I really want to invite anybody out there who is not aware of how important every day it is for us to step into feeling good. Physically, your feeling good matters. Our mental health depends on it. So, I'm going to talk about your physical, your mental, and your financial well being right now. So think about your dream physical health. You're at your goal weight, you fit into all your clothes, you feel so good, you're sleeping through the night. It's just amazing. You're so happy. And then let's go into your mental health. All your relationships are so happy and healthy. You are laughing all the time. You're always giggling. You're so grateful. The life that you've always dreamed of has already come true. What does that feel like in your body? So that's the imagination I'm challenging you to start to step into your physical, your mental, and your financial well being. What if all of those areas was at a 10? Can you imagine those tens? Because this is what I say to my clients. I've been a coach for 24 years. If you can't imagine it, how am I supposed to get you there? The number one relationship, the most important relationship in our lives, do you know who that's with? Our thoughts. I was so blown away when I learned this. The number one, think about it, the number one relationship in your life is with your thoughts because how you interpret the world really impacts the way you live life. So, what if you started living life at a 10? What does that feel like to be in the best physical shape of your life? Even if you're not right now, I'm inviting you to imagine what would it feel like for you to be in the best physical health that you've ever been in. What does a 10 feel like to you? Being at your physical goal weight, fitting into clothes, having that health that you've always dreamed of. What does that feel like in your body? Now let's go to mental health. What does it feel like to be so happy? What does it feel like to have all your relationships balanced, have well being, and to feel so good and grateful for your spirituality, for the things that are working in your life, for the things that you are grateful for? What does that feel like in your body? Now let's go to financial well being. And by the way, I think there's a number. Your 10. What is your 10 for your physical, your mental, and your financial well being? What does your 10 feel like in your body? If you're physically, mentally, and financially at your 10, when is the last time you sat in that feeling? The 10 that you want, not where you're at, where you're going. When is the last time you really sat in those emotions? The gratitude, the love, the joy, the health, the 10 that you want to create with your physical, your mental, and your financial well being. Then go to your mental health. So we did your physical. So you're at your 10 physically. You know what your goal weight is, the number on the scale, the physical that you want to have your clothes fit. Get into your 10 for physical, mental, and financial well being. So let's go to your mental health. All your relationships are firing. You're so happy. Now imagine this. I just want to give this as a what if things aren't going well? You had a big argument. Do you take action when you're in a negative state? No. Withdrawal. Go inside. Take breaths. Meditate. Sit with yourself and self resource. Change the way you feel. Go inside. Re raise yourself. You want to learn how to change your state. It's the newest technology. It is the future. It's what we have now to go into our future selves and imagine our lives as though everything we've ever dreamed of has already come true. Now step into your financial health. What does it look like? What's that number on that scale? Is it $20 million? Dollars? Maybe it's $250 million. Dollars. Oh, is that too much? Because I made people uncomfortable with those numbers. What is your dream number? So then let's get the number. So maybe it's 100,000, 500,000. What would make you go, yes, yes? And what would make you go, Thank God. What are the things that create a 10 in your world? And I'm asking you to find the number, but I want you to feel the feeling of what that feels like to find that freedom. What does it feel like to have total financial freedom in your life? Find that 10. What is the 10 for you financially? What number is it? And now step into the feeling. Close your eyes if you want to, take a deep breath. What if you started laughing uncontrollably? Because everything you've ever dreamed of has already come true. What does that feel like in your body? We know you know how to run all the negative stuff through your body. You've spent lots of time being in the negative. Let's practice being in the positive. Because do you agree that the thoughts that you think create energy in your body, sickness or wealth, health and well-being, whatever you're thinking about, you're bringing about. Do you agree with that? If you do, then wouldn't it make sense for you to start being grateful for the silliest things and just start laughing randomly? What does laughter do for people? If you just started laughing, what does it feel like if you start laughing? What is the feeling you have inside when you just start breaking into laughter? What is it? It's contagious. Happiness is contagious. Being grateful can be contagious. But guess what else is contagious? All the negative feelings. They could be addictive too. Are you addicted to your negative feelings? What happens when you're in that addiction of those negative feelings that you're familiar with because that's what you're used to being in? You create more of them, don't you? So, what would happen if you started practicing every single day for 20 or 30 minutes, just sitting in gratitude, just being so happy and imagining your life as though everything you've ever dreamed of has already come true? The relationship, first with yourself, physically, mentally, and financially, your well being, that you are one of the happiest people in the room wherever you go. What does that feel like? What does that look like? Can you do that for yourself? Because Superman's not coming, not for anybody. So it's your job to learn how to self regulate yourself. And our parents did the best they could, right? They had no resources compared. We have AI. I mean, I don't think they had the internet when our parents were growing up. So imagine you're now able to re-raise your little boy or girl, and that's your job. What if that's your full-time job? Just learning how to self regulate, how to send positive energy and feel those positive feelings and send it into the future. Today is not my best physical day. I don't feel great. But guess what? Getting on this live, talking about how it feels to be my physically top healthy and start laughing for no reason. Those feelings, when I run those feelings through my body instead of the ones that are negative, when I'm happy and I'm running a frequency, if you think about your body as an instrument. If it is, then don't you want to tune it to positivity? Don't you want to tune it to what you're grateful for? Wouldn't it make more sense to imagine your life as though everything you've ever dreamed of has already come true? Everything you've ever dreamed of has already come true. Wouldn't it make sense to dream about that, to imagine your life beyond your wildest dreams, the happiest version of yourself, and to start stepping into that future and to hold that feeling and then breathe it into your body? Because, plenty of stuff you can tap into that's negative, and that gets your attention, doesn't it? But how does it feel in your body? When's the last time you asked yourself, where am I feeling this? And then what if you just dropped in and closed your eyes and said, where do I feel it in my body? And when's the first time I've actually had that feeling? What if you start feeling the most positive, healthiest, most powerful, intentional gratitude you've ever felt? What if that was the way you wanted to start stepping into your world? Being grateful and happy and visualizing yourself in your future. As your future self, the happiest, healthiest, most abundant version of yourself. What's your number on the scale? What's your number for finances? And what is the happiest, most grateful moments that you can possibly imagine? And can you start to put in discipline? Because doing the hard things is why we're here. It's not to be lazy and do the things that are easy. That is never going to get you to be where you're most grateful, most happiest. Is it? I don't know. My experience has been that people who work really hard and struggle and have challenges. And some of the most famous people and the most delightful people are the ones who came from trauma and struggle, and they have done their personal work to change and shift and tune their personal instruments so that they can be happy and grateful. And they've learned how to love themselves. And how do you love yourself? Feel love. That's all. Because loving yourself is not a lot of work. It's just having gratitude and a feeling of gratitude and sitting in that gratitude every single day. And I recommend 30 to 40 minutes. If you can meditate every day, that is the most powerful experience. When you sit with yourself and then you start to breathe and do work to focus on the things that you want to create, it is one of the most powerful practices that you could possibly imagine. And creating that experience and loving into those moments is the key to physical, mental, and financial well being. I would imagine that if you love your life and that when you start to communicate things that actually create positivity, that your life will improve beyond your wildest dreams. If you are creating whatever you think about, you bring about. So the words you choose, the thoughts you have, when you put those out into the world, it is a mirror. We are living in a frequency, and that frequency comes back to you. You are creating your life. If you look at your relationships and everything around you, that is your responsibility. Everything you're creating. The question is, what do you like? What are you grateful for? What are the most important things that you can have in your life? Because guess what? I've learned how to tune out and put in boundaries and protection for the things that are not serving and benefiting me, for the people that don't benefit me. They may not in this moment realize that I have eliminated them and blocked them from creating negativity in my life. And I'm okay with them having the lives that they want. If you have a decision and you've made your choice to be wherever you're at, you go live in that life. That's your decision. But I get to set up my boundaries for mine because guess what? We have free will. We have free will to create whatever we want. And I just want to say I'm sorry if whoever raised you did not set a great example. They didn't have love in their heart because the person that raised them didn't. I am so, so sorry. But you get to change that. We are in the technology now of being able to change whatever it is, whatever you want to create in your life. And when you create thoughts and emotions and you tie those into your body, you wire in that emotion. It's like tuning an instrument. Whatever you create, whatever you see, whatever you want in your life, you're creating. I can tell you about your life if you show me your credit card bill. I know your values. I know where you invest your time and energy. And my invitation to you is to create what you want in your life. If you want love, be love. Start talking about it. Love yourself. Learn how to sit in front of the mirror and say kind things to yourself. It's probably one of the hardest things that some people will ever do, but it's one of the greatest rewarding things that you could ever imagine. So, my invitation to you today is to go be in your own world and learn how to meditate, learn how to listen to your own thoughts and refocus them into a frequency that you want to create, into the things that you love and that you're grateful for. Go and take care of yourself, self regulate yourself. There is no Superman coming. So, your job is to reprogram yourself if you have or desire for a better life. Cheers to you. So meditate every day for 30 days, sit in silence for 5 minutes minimum a day, listen to what you think about, and imagine your life as though everything you've ever wanted and ever dreamed of has already come true. What would that feel like in your body?